In the previous video, we looked at links and how to work with them. In this video, we are going to be looking at images and how to work with them. The first thing I need you to do is go to GitHub and find that repo I gave you at the beginning of the lesson. In this repo, you are going to find resources you can use to help you in your web development journey. One of the resources we have here is this website here. You have these websites for images. Basically, images on the internet are not free. You can't just take them and use them in your website, but these ones are absolutely free. You can use them in your website for free. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open pexels.com, and here we are going to find a list of images we can use on our website. So in order to demonstrate how to link images to our HTML document here, I'm going to need to go back to HTML here. In order to display an image on your HTML page, you are going to need to use the image tag. This tag takes in the source attribute, and this is where you are going to need to provide the address of the image you want to link. So if I go back to pexels.com here and then select an image, let's say I'll try to use this one. I'll say copy image link and go back here and paste the image link here and close that off and save it. If I go back to my page, you will see that this image is now displayed on our HTML page here. Another important attribute you are going to need to provide for your images is the alt tag. This is basically alternative text. You are going to need to describe what you see in the image here, and you are going to need to be as descriptive as possible, because this is going to be used if, let's say, the browser can't find this image. It's going to display this text here. And also, if you are using a web reader for someone who's blind, they can be able to access your website and know what the contents of the image contain through audio. So here, this is a beautiful, let's say beautiful picture depicting autumn. Okay, like that. If I was to, let's say, remove this link here and click on save, you'll see that what's displayed is the alternative text here, as you can see. Or let's say if this link was somehow wrong or it was somehow inaccessible, you'd be able to see that here there's supposed to be an image, and that image is an image of autumn. Another attribute you can provide for your images is the size. Let's say I wanted the width to be 200 pixels, like that. And you can see our image is now 200 pixels. And also the height, you can say height here. And then let's say that's 500 pixels. You can see that the aspect ratio is kind of messed up. So a good practice is only to provide one of these. Let's provide the height only so that the aspect ratio is correct. If you provide only one, the image automatically recalculates the other, and it keeps the aspect ratio of the image. So another way to link an image is if you have an image in your website here. So if I go back to Pexels, let's say I search an image of web development. I'm going to take this image and I'm going to download it. Once I've downloaded this image, I'm going to copy it into my website folder. If I go back to Visual Studio Code, I can see that there's a folder here with my image inside it. So I can basically create another image tag. Oh, let me erase this one. Okay, I can say image and then source. And instead of providing an absolute path or a URL here, I can just say images and then the name of the file. And I can close that and save. And our image is displayed here, although it's too big. Let me say its width is like 200 pixels to reduce its size. So as you can see, our image is displayed on our page here, and the aspect ratio is okay. For the alt tag, I can use a picture of a studio or maybe a workstation for a web designer or web developer. Another attribute you can provide is the title. Let's say web development for the title, and that will be displayed when, let's say, you hover over the image. All right, you can see there's web development, it appears. This is how to link an image. You can use the absolute path or you can use the relative path like this. Let's talk about image placement next. Let's say I have a paragraph here. An image can be placed on top of the paragraph here outside, or you can cut this and place it within the paragraph. You can do this if the image is part of the paragraph. Once you've added an image inside a paragraph, you can also use the align tag to align it. As you can see, this will align the image to the left or to the right. Let's say align center. I can say center here, and that will align the image in the center. Or maybe I can say right and save. This will align this image to the right. There's a wide range of image formats you can use on the web. For example, this image I'm using here is a JPEG here. But let's say I wanted to use something that has no background. For that, I can use a PNG. If I wanted to use something that was moving, I can use a GIF. Let's say I was creating a meme website or something. I was gonna be trying to use GIFs. Let's say copy image link and then replace this with that image link and click on save. And as you can see, our GIF is added to our web page here. So for moving images, you can use the GIF format. For images without backgrounds, you can use PNGs, and you can use a JPEG if you just have a regular image. Another thing you must note is that the images on your website are going to affect your loading speed. So it is very important that they are as small as possible. So you can use an image compressor to compress your images so that your website loads faster. The one I love to use is this one. Try to compress it to 80% and that will reduce the size. Another thing you will need to learn is how to create graphics for yourself. For example, I use Photoshop to create graphics for my websites. Basically, what I do is I go to pexels.com and I find an image that I like. These are stock images, so they're basically used on many websites. So to make mine feel unique, I use Photoshop to edit them. For example, you can see this graphic here. This is a header image for one of my websites, the website that I'm going to give you at the end of this tutorial. And I basically took a stock image and I created this image here. Another one is this one. So basically I found a stock image of a guy, I removed the background and I created this graphic in Photoshop. If you don't want to use Photoshop, the one I started designing with is Canva. I have a link in that GitHub repo I provided to you guys to Canva. And also I have an affiliate link in the description down below. So if you sign up for Canva, please do that using my link in the description down below. And this will basically just help you in your graphics design knowledge. You don't have to design anything yourself. You can just use a template and modify it. So I think with that, that's it for this video. In the next video, we're going to look at tables. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.